My name is Ace, and the story used to haunt me. One that broke my mind to pieces, but this all started back 3 years ago. It was my birthday, February 29th. We were never rich. My mother gave me this bracelet with my name on it. I loved it. I wore it everywhere I went. Then, I would see people just out of my sight. I thought it was just my hair or maybe the lighting or something. Then, one night, I woke up to see someone standing in the corner of my room, watching and waiting. Then, I fell back asleep. I had a nightmare of killing my loving brother and mother. I was not in control, but it was only a dream. I would tell myself I wouldn't do anything like that. One day, I was getting wood with my brother, and I saw this lone black kitten, and I took it in and named it Pocket. She was the best thing that had happened in the past 2 months. I started getting urges to kill. It wasn't like me. One thing that would help was Pocket. She would just have to be in the room and everything would be fine. And having a loving animal that can just understand you without words heals my heart that has been torn by these nightmares. But then, the worst happened. My Pocket was gone. I was freaking out. My urges overwhelmed me and I was getting angrier and angrier. Every minute she was gone. My brother and mother tried to calm me down, but I couldn't be calm. The one thing that prevented me from causing immense damage was gone. Blood rushed to my head, and I was gone. I woke up in a cabin in the woods. I was shaking intensely. Blood was all over my hands and arms. I had a massive headache. The laughs, screams, and cries ran through the wall. I felt like I was going crazy. I went down to the basement. I had some comfort there. Pure silence gave me some relief, but it was pitch black. I looked around and found a candle. Lighting would be impossible without the sun or some stones, but I continued feeling and I found a fire pit. I got some wood and started rubbing them so fast it started glowing. My arms were in agonizing pain, but it was working. Then a small fire started. I got the chance to look around. The room was small, with some bookcases and ripped paper on the floor. The words were now unreadable, and ink stains splashed around, and what looked like a mirror. It looked like someone lived there for quite a while. There was a door to the side. Words started to fill my brain, though none were slow enough to read. Then whispers turned to yells, then all went to silence. And I was no longer in control. Something else was moving me. After a few hours, I ended up at my house. I opened the door expecting my mother and brother to be worried about me, but no. They were all murdered. Blood was all over the walls. My brother was stuck in a screaming face. He was dead. It was all your fault, something had said. It was all my fault, I said. You killed them, it said. I killed them, I said. I need to fix this. It wasn't their fault. Why them? Why now? But what do I do? Do I call the police? I thought to myself. I grabbed the trash bag and put my brother in it. I put some ice so the dying process slows down, and put him in a cart. I did the same with my mother. I took my brother first and took him back to my cabin. Then I went back to get my mother and take her back as well. Once they were both there, I took them out of the bag and put them in the cellar, where it was very cold. I felt like I was drowning in guilt. Everyone that I loved them had them stripped away by the one that shares their blood. It was all my fault. I could have changed this. If only I could have done something different. I felt like I was going insane, but maybe I could find my Pocket somewhere. I just need her by my side and purring. Maybe being by myself would be best. I couldn't hurt anyone else then. I started doing experiments with life and death, trying to bring them back. With frogs, fish, birds. I wasn't getting anything. There's no plant, no combination of chemicals that could bring them back from the dead. I started seeing things. People, animals, and anything else. Then, after almost a year, it was October, and they rotted. There's no way I could see them again. I went to bury them with great tears in my eyes, but I still had to get them back, even without their human body. My door suddenly opened and there was no wind. I looked out and I saw nothing unusual. I sat on my bed and saw on the nightstand there was a book that I know wasn't there before. Inside was a way to bring back my brother and mother. A spell that can bring them back from the dead. I got a cauldron and started putting in the ingredients, and out was a monster that ate me whole. Now, another monster is chasing me, when that was with me this whole time, and I just couldn't see it. Well, I can now, but I wish I never did. All I could do was run, until one demon set out an axe. I ran to get it and prepared to defend myself. Then, right when I went to strike, I was gone. I was on trial, and all my guilt filled me, and punishment soon came. I fell down in a pile with all the other sinners. They were just like me. For once, I belonged. I just didn't want this place to be the one. There's no escape, but really, there was never an escape, ever since the start. Brother, I'm here for you. Listen carefully. My dear brother had spoken to me. I missed everything about him. I will get you out of here. Just follow the rules and you might survive, he said. What rules? I questioned. I got out after struggling for so long. I was in a house. This place was weird. Everything is changing. You could be in one place and then suddenly change to another place. Nothing like how the living world worked. I had my axe again, and the monster I had to the face. I raised my axe and it threw vines. I hit a few, but it was too much. I couldn't do much. I ran again, fearing what it might do to me. Then the vines grabbed me, and I couldn't move. Stop! It yelled. I froze. You don't understand, little one. The soul connection with the mind has to be completed. What soul connection? What are you talking about? I questioned, but I didn't answer. I was a child to them, and I couldn't do anything. The rules, I remembered. There's no rules here. Things happen at random times. There is no order. What could he have been talking about? I can get you out of here, but you have to promise me to allow me to the mind, it said. You are already cursing my mind. What more control do you want? I said. You don't get it. This will be the better, and when you die, you won't come here. You'll be in heaven with the saints. So promise me, it said very convincingly. Fine. I will allow you in my head. I regretted every word in an instant. I was back home, but I was empty. Suddenly, there was a meow. It was my pocket, and my brother and mother. They were happy to say happy birthday, and my mother put a box with my special bracelet. I took it once again, but I know this was all an illusion. A sweet sleep to distract myself, because he still speaks to me. These people aren't real, but I will believe it. Better than living in a nightmare.